How's it going? I'm going to yell. Okay. Let's see if we got my PowerPoint up here. I can talk without it. I can also improvise. Before I get started, by show of hands, how many people here have read Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1? One. Liz works for Yext. She's just doing that to be nice. 2, 3, so just keep them up for a second. I just want to see. Okay, cool. Put them down. How many people have read Eric Schmidt's book about Google that he and Jonathan Rosenberg just wrote? Okay, more people have read Thiel's book. My personal opinion, Thiel's book is an instant classic. And it describes some amazing concepts. Schmidt's book was pretty fascinating as well, but it was really unique to Google. And I think Google had tons of advantages that you might not see from other types of companies. So I can just kind of give this without a PowerPoint too, and tell you that Thiel's main kind of point, 0 to 1, is about the fact that great technology companies take 10x leaps. That is, they don't just build what he calls undifferentiated commodity businesses that over time are easy to replicate and don't have any sort of extra hard things or extra value to do, but over time other people can copy and you can lower prices and things can happen that make them not so great over time. And so some examples of commodity businesses, or let's just talk, for example, about 0 to 1 leaps for a second. So 0 to 1, a 0 to 1 leap, a 10x leap, a revolutionary business from Yahoo directory to find a business, and Google search. That's 0 to 1. That was a 0 to 1 jump. Another 0 to 1 jump was of course, the original smartphone to an iPhone. That's a 0 to 1 type jump. It's 10 times better than the next best thing. Another 0 to 1 jump was obviously when we went from no airplane to a 737. That was a 0 to 1 type jump. Thing is that once companies make that 0 to 1 jump, they tend to then sort of make a what I call 1 to 1.1 or 1.2 type jump. And so an example of that is if you look at a Corvette from, here we go. Here's my PowerPoint. Was that okay? I was kind of bullshitting, just to fill the time. Okay. Now I'll get this clicker to work. 0 to 1. Okay. Where do I point this guy? Okay. I'm talking about that. We said Google. We're looking at the terminal interface to Microsoft Windows XP. That's a 0 to 1 leap. Another 0 to 1 leap is, of course, going from the smartphone to the iPhone, from Siebel Systems to the Salesforce CRM in the cloud is a 0 to 1 leap. Corvette. Now, here's an interesting thing. The plane, the Corvette, those are both, they were originally 0 to 1 leaps when they were first made, but a plane today, this is one of the saddest things in the world for me, is that an airplane today, a jet engine, is about the same speed as it was 40, 50 years ago. In fact, the world's gone backwards a little bit because in 1972, we used to have the Concorde, and you could get to London in 3 hours on a supersonic jet. It was a little loud and had a lot of fuel, but we've gone back, and you can't do that anymore. Jets today look the same they did in 1968. These are 0 to 0.1. These are 1/10 leaps, not 0 to 1 leaps. Windows, sometimes you can go backwards. Microsoft went 0 to -1 with Vista. They corrected that. Now they're back at 0. But here's the thing. The point of the book is that entrepreneurs today are taught to look for evolutionary, not revolutionary advantages. And here's the quote about competition. Under perfect competition in the long run, no company makes an economic profit. The opposite of perfect competition is monopoly. Now, it's easy to sort of hypothesize about, but that gets to the main point, which is make differentiated products. If you want to create long-term value and capture it, what you've got to do is build a differentiated product. And he says it in the negative, being a contrarian, he's like, don't build an undifferentiated commodity business. I read that as build a differentiated business. All right, so that brings me to my key point for all of you in the audience today. So many of you are working for startups and growth companies. It's a really exciting industry. This entire ecosystem is built on you. And here's my key message. Think differentiated. We've all seen the Apple ads. This is different. Think differentiated. Build stuff that is unique and new and brings new value to the ecosystem. Don't get involved in fights that do this. And there's just, Stephen Jacobs wrote a great piece on some of the breakthrough or new innovative products, the last 5 in the geo-marketing or hyperlocal industry. And I'm just going to walk through a couple of them now. I think Uber has built a totally differentiated business. It's definitely 10 times better than ordering a cab. Of course, Jeremy built a differentiated business with Yelp. Yelp, with their reviews, that was actually a comment in the section was on Stephen's article, you got 5 right, but you forgot reviews, and we were both chuckling backstage. I agree. Reviews, and not just the idea of reviews, but community reviews. That made Yelp a brilliantly differentiated product. And then you look at mobile payments, and you look at Square. He's holding a piece of glass here. They thought differentiated. They built a differentiated product that would be really hard to replicate, and ultimately over the long run really will drive cool new value for them. This is a controversial one, daily deals in our industry, thinking differentiated. Here's actually what I think is differentiated about Groupon. You could argue that daily deals are a commodity product because there's no huge network effect there outside of customer acquisition, which I tend to agree with. But what I will say is that brand is differentiation. You can differentiate yourself by building an awesome, amazing brand. And a great quote that we all know, no one ever got fired for buying IBM. And someday I hope people say no one ever got fired for buying Yext, because we've always at our company focused on building differentiated products. And we've done that a couple of times. The way you do that, though, is by taking big bets and reinventing yourselves. If you're a tech company and you don't reinvent yourself constantly, you will die. You will erode over time. Great technology companies, in order to succeed over decades long, must reinvent themselves by looking for that 10x leap, by looking for that differentiated product, by building that brand that people know to love and have an emotional connection to over time. And that's how you succeed over the long run. IBM used to make computers. Now they don't anymore. Apple, of course, used to make these. Now they make phones. Phones and computers have something in common. They do today. They didn't back then. And we've reinvented ourselves over our history. We started off with a differentiated 0-to-1 pay-per-call advertising product that reinvented pay-per-call advertising and sold it, and started over and reinvented our industry with a listings network geo-marketing software product. And so a continuous process of reinvention is critical to the long-term success of any tech company. And what's key to doing that? I'll tell you, it's actually people. Since it's the people at your company that are going to be driving fundamentally the reinvention, they are the primary differentiator for your company. And so my message for all of you is, people are differentiators. Make sure you hire the best ones. And if you're looking for a job, come work at Yext. Thank you. I think we have a recruiter here, too, so come by our booth.